But now it is time to send it to our next segment, overrated, underrated.
Welcome to Overrated, Underrated. In this segment, me and Mark will decide if these things in Star Wars are overrated, underrated, or properly rated. And we can only answer with about one sentence. So, Mark, you're up first here. Your first thing, overrated, underrated, the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, man, I low-key like the Millennium Falcon, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the more iconic ships in Star Wars.
Probably the most.
Yeah, I would say probably the most. And I think with the way it's designed, it's good for, maneuverability. It has some good weapons on it as well. It's just a great overall ship. I'm gonna say properly rated.
Properly rated. Okay. I understand that. Okay. Your next thing, overrated, underrated. The duel between Obi-Wan and Vader in A New Hope.
Ugh. This one's brutal to watch, especially after seeing the other version of it. I don't know. I just feel like I gotta say overrated. It's just like
I'd be the opposite.
The dialogue is great, but the actual duel is not.
I understand your reason.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I probably would have said underrated because I just think, like it's just okay. It's not mine. It's not mine to decide. Yeah. I guess. Mark says overrated. It wasn't me. Okay, Mark, your final thing here. Overrated, underrated. Ezra and Kanan's relationship.
Oh man, underrated. I think their relationship is just amazing, and they both grew as characters from one another. They benefited from one another throughout the whole Rebel series. All right, Logan, your first one. Overrated, underrated. Han and Chewie's relationship.
See, now this is much different from Ezra and Kanan's. I'm gonna say properly rated. Like, it just, it's a good friendship. I love seeing the origin story in Solo, but I don't think it's anything too crazy. It's very casual from what we see. So, properly rated.
I agree, even though it's not my decision. Overrated, underrated. Darth Plagueis the Wise, the scene from Episode 3 when Palpatine was talking to Anakin.
Yeah, Palpatine's teachings, as they say.
Yep. They would say that.
God. I'm not gonna lie. See, this one is like, I don't know, this one's mixy. I'm gonna say overrated because I think a lot of people really do love that. And not that I think it's bad, but I don't know. I've always thought it's so intentional though. I've always thought it's so creepy how after every single question Anakin asks, Palpatine goes like this and just slowly turns his head, Like I've always hated that. Just because it's just so creepy. So,
that's hilarious.
Overrated.
That's hilarious. Overrated, underrated. The Jedi Temple. The overall design of it.
Underrated. Underrated because I feel like it's not pointed out enough. Like, it doesn't get enough attention, I don't think. I think the design of it is just absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
I love the idea of the council chambers being high up above everything else. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I would like to know the schematics of it, though, because it's just, like, so massive. It just seems insane. But
Yeah,
yeah, underrated. I like that.
I like that too.
Okay, Mark, your next thing here, overrated, underrated, the Empire's cloning plans.
Oh man, this is a hard one to. Ooh,
Because, you see a lot of it in Bad Batch. You get some in Mando.
I might have to lean underrated here. I think because you can see the full. You don't see the full process of it, but you're kind of getting a gist of the process
Mm-hmm.
and how they're um proceeding with the cloning process, I guess. And I just like that they basically took the Kaminoans, took them off of Camino, and they're holding them hostage, making them, do all the research for cloning for the Empire. So
Yeah.
I'll say underrated.
I also love how secretive it is.
It's very secretive.
Okay, Mark, your next thing here, overrated, underrated, Boba Fett's armor.
Hmm. Gosh, because I like Django's better.
Mm-hmm.
But do I want to say overrated for both? Because Boba Fett's armor looks cool too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have to say, you know what? Because I think people would say that the majority of people would say that Boba Fett's armor looks better than Django's. So I'm gonna go slightly overrated because I just feel like more people lean towards Boba Fett's armor, but
Mm-hmm.
I lean towards Django's armor.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I'd
Yeah.
agree. Not that it's bad.
No, it's great.
Yeah. Okay,
Just
Mark.
lean Django a little more.
Your final thing here, overrated, underrated, Crosshair's character arc. And we don't have the full thing, but as it
Ooh,
stands.
man. I gotta say underrated for this one too. This character arc he's undergoing right now is phenomenal because he's always been like the follow orders, obviously, and we've seen that with the inhibitor chip. Good soldiers follow orders, but he's at the end of season 2. He was really torn. Not at the end of it, like towards the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
He was really torn about it, and by the end, he doesn't seem to be vibing with the Empire anymore. I mean, he doesn't like them, and I can't wait for season 3 to see his full arc be complete in that season.
Yeah, that episode in season 2 of Bad Batch where you see Crosshair sort of turn with Mayday,
Oh
that
yes,
episode might be one of the best Star Wars show episodes out of them all to date.
it was phenomenal. All right, Logan. To get into the next thing here, overrated, underrated, live action Night Sisters.
I mean, I feel like I have to say underrated. I feel like I
I
have
figured you
to.
would, yeah.
It's such a cool thing. It's just I don't know. I think it's I feel like the Night Sisters in general are sort of an underrated thing in Star Wars. Seeing them in live action is just a whole nother thing. It's crazy. So definitely underrated. I want more people to appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it was definitely really cool. Now, for your next thing here, I know you brought up Kanan and Ezra relationship. Overrated, underrated. Kanan's character arc in Rebels.
God, that's it. Like for the people that have never seen Rebels, you're missing out.
Literally, you
That's
are
underrated
completely
as
missing out.
well. Him him being like you brought up how he grows with Ezra. You see that whole thing going on throughout Rebels. Then you see the Bendu and what he learns there and just him sacrificing himself like just the most Jedi thing he could possibly do. That it's just I don't know. V-
Phenomenal.
very few characters compare to that character arc. So, definitely underrated.
I agree. And your last thing, overrated, underrated, Kelleran Beck.
Okay. See, we don't see a whole lot of them. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get like a see him in combat for a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's kind of smooth with it.
Man, I think this is. You've definitely had some close calls, but this might be the first time we've ever had a whole section of them all be underrated, because I'm gonna say underrated. He's way too cool. I really would like to see more of him.
I agree.
And
I would as well.
because he like sends Grogu off to Naboo, or that's presumed, I hope he has like some sort of connection with the Gungans, because that would be sweet that Ahmad Best, his character, like his two characters, well, he actually has three characters now in Star Wars, but his two main characters would have some sort of connection. So I would love that. But yeah, I mean the two lightsaber fighting that the dual saber, I love seeing that. Definitely underrated. I think he's a great character so far.
like that.
Would love to see more.
Love it.
But I mean, overall, I think this was one of our best overrated underrateds. This was, man, I feel like we flip-flopped a little bit. You are always the person that says underrated, and I'm the one that always says overrated. And I think we kind of flip-flopped here, which is kind of good for the for the sake of the show. It's good to switch it up sometimes. So
100%.
I'm glad to see it pan out like that. If you guys enjoyed this segment, let us know in the comments below. We love doing this one. It's a kind of a staple for the Galactic Core. We gave it a break, but we're back again, and we'll see how you guys enjoy this. But enough yapping. We'll get you back to the boys at the desk and continue the show. Let's go ahead and send it back.